Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run for the UKV, have a look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days, as we have got a very cold next few days as we are dragging our air off the North Sea with some really quite cold Arctic upper air temperatures, and it is going to be in many areas through tomorrow, through Monday and even into Tuesday. Might not get much above 5 to 7 degrees, which coming off the back of winter doesn't sound terrible, but for the end of April it really is pretty unusual and is a good 5 to 10 degrees below average for many through the next few days. Now, the reason why it's going to be so chilly in some places is because we are going to see some thick cloud and some light to moderate areas of rain getting dragged off the North Sea. We can already see some of that pushing in for Scotland. It's once this reaches further southwards and combines with that colder air and the easterly wind, we really could be in for a real chilly next few days. Now, we are seeing some positive signs in the longer term that the temperatures will be going on the up into the final days of April, into early May. But unfortunately, it is looking like it is going to be accompanied by quite a lot more precipitation. Even though we are going to see some rain in the next few days, for most it's actually relatively dry, and when we do see rain it's most likely going to be light and patchy. But with milder air masses coming in off the Atlantic, accompanied by a stronger and flatter jet stream with more low pressure, we could see quite a bit more rain as we head into early May. So yes, turning a bit warmer, temperatures back into the mid-teens, maybe even high teens, but we are going to be seeing a lot more rain if what the models are showing at the moment does come off. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, would you like and subscribe? And remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Now, if you start on the live radar, you can see what I was talking about with that rain moving in across Scotland at the moment. Again, most of it is moderate in intensity or light in intensity, and it is going to slowly sink southwards through the eastern portion of the United Kingdom over the next sort of 12 hours or so, and it could linger for much of Sunday and into Monday across parts of northeast England, through the Midlands into central southern England. And at the moment, parts of East Anglia, southeast England, it is going to be in the coldest air, but we are here likely to avoid the thick cloud and avoid that precipitation, as here there is drier air. So we could see more frosts in these regions, generally overnight temperatures being lower, but in the day actually could be slightly higher than under the rain and cloud. It would be a lot easier to see this in a minute when we have a look at the latest UKV. But even today, we've not got that cloud widely in, and we've not got that precipitation moving in yet, but you can already see it is chilly. And you can see the east-west split at the moment. Much of eastern England is cold at the moment, especially towards the coast, where we are dragging in that northeasterly and easterly flow, feeling really chilly indeed. Not what we want this time of year, keeping it really cold indeed. Further westwards, temperatures are on the up actually, under the higher pressure, away from this easterly wind. It's not actually too bad here. We're seeing temperatures maybe mid to high teens over the next couple of days. So yeah, a big east to west split. Now, if you look at the latest UKV, you can see that rain slowly moving in from the north over the coming hours, slowly trending southwards through tomorrow afternoon, not reaching most of England and Wales by Sunday evening, but lingering across northeastern areas where we're likely to see the coldest temperatures. But as we head into Monday, you can see more intensity and more widespread nature of that rain as it gets slowly dragged southwards and westwards through Monday, lingering into Tuesday before eventually disappearing into the middle of the week. And you can see how that wind direction changes through Thursday into Friday, with more of a westerly wind starting to push in. We'll still be in colder air by the end of this upcoming week. We're going to cut off that northeasterly, and the temperatures should slowly start to rise as that wind comes more in off the west. Now, if we do have a look at the upper air temperatures, you can see cold air isn't at the moment. We could see some slightly milder air in the west, but that cold air lingers for many eastern areas and lingers all the way into Monday, and we could see even colder air all arriving for Tuesday into Wednesday. And we do cut off the very strong easterly winds that actually could increase in temperatures, even with the upper air temperatures reducing, but still it's going to remain chilly all the way into the middle of the week. You can see the areas coming in from the west here by Thursday and Friday, but we actually have got the colder sectors. So yeah, air masses are going to slowly rise, but I must emphasise it is going to be a slow rise back towards average for the final days of April. Now, if you look at the max temperatures, you can see as we head into tomorrow, pretty chilly overnight, widely mid to low single digits, and into the afternoon, we could see at best 10 to 12 degrees across much of England and Wales, 16, 17 across Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. Across Northern England, where we do drag in that rain and cloud, only 4 to 7 degrees. Now into Monday, look at that, the far southeast could even see pretty widespread frost developing there, with many areas down towards 0 or 1 degree. That would be very interesting indeed. Not just seeing a frost there, but it's the fact that we're seeing a frost in southeast eastern England, but nowhere else. Just showing you how cold this air mass is, and how it really is only majorly impacting the eastern part of the country. You can see it's a Monday afternoon, this strip of very cold surface conditions, and that's where we've got that rain and cloud through Monday. Again, only 4 to maybe 8 degrees in this region. Really horrible indeed. To the east of it, the area is colder, but we are seeing more sunshine, so maybe 8 to 10 degrees. Into the west, we've got sunnier conditions under the higher pressure, but also warmer upper air temperatures, and that's why maybe 18, 19 degrees across the southern tip of the Republic of Ireland. So again, huge west to east split. Into Tuesday, again, another pretty cold night, and again we could see 7 or 8 degrees in an area slightly further eastwards across the parts of the Midlands, southeast England, East Anglia there through Tuesday. Again, chilly or even very chilly in places. And again, another frost into Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, slightly higher as that wind direction changes, but still only 10 to 13 degrees. And the same can be said for Thursday, where again, it's actually turning a little bit colder in places further northwards, with maybe a bit of rain moving in, but again, only 10 to 12 degrees at best. Now, if you look at the latest GFS, you can see why this is happening. We've got this northeasterly wind in at the moment. It doesn't look too severe here on the macro view, but it is at the surface, pretty strong easterly flow, dragging in that cold air for the rest of the week. You can see eventually it does get cut off later next week. We stay with relatively chilly conditions all the way through to the following week, but then you see the high pressure moves more to our north and our east. We do see kind of easterly winds continuing, but we do start to drag up some slightly milder air from the continent. It's less of a northeasterly and more of a flat easterly or southeasterly there, and that's why those temperatures are rising, but also is accompanied by a bit of a cut-off low developing across Europe, and that means we're going to see rain. Look at that, quite a lot of heavy rain across Europe. Very little over the next few days. Got that rain coming in off the North Sea, but that's basically it for the next week. And then into next weekend, we start to see a lot more rain accumulate as we see that pesky little cut-off low sitting over the top of us, spiralling around and giving a lot of rain to much of Europe. You can see actually across Central and Eastern Europe, it's even worse than for the UK. But regardless, we are going to see more heavy rain returning if this pattern comes off. If you compare to the GM, again a northeasterly wind coming in, looking really quite chilly indeed. And then eventually, again, we see that cut-off low developing. The wind direction shifts to a southerly or southeasterly. And even here, actually, more of a southwesterly. So that could turn a lot warmer if we did drag in some properly mild air. But at this stage, you can see, not a lot of improvements inside the next week. And beyond that, yes, temperatures rising, but still remaining fairly chilly. Maybe just about getting above average and seeing the return of pretty widespread rain. If you compare to the ECMWF, again a northeasterly pushing in, again this cut-off low to our south, dragging in an east or southeasterly wind, and again you can start to see some warmer air trying to edge our way, but of course with the low pressure it's just going to feel heavy showers and maybe even thunderstorms. Look at that, at day 10, lots of rain across northern and northwestern Europe because of that low. So yes, milder, but look at all that rain that accumulates in the last sort of 3 or 4 days of this run. Really not good at all with that rainfall moving in. Now we can see this well emphasised on the latest ensembles. If you do put it into the picture view, look at that. Very cold, well below average, around the 5 to 10 degrees below average for the next week. And then slowly, as we head into the latter parts of April, we do trend back towards average. And maybe it's going to be early May before we are actually average or above average once again. But you could see precipitation really picking up there through the latter parts of April and early May. Not absolute deluge, not absolutely stormy conditions, but a return of more widespread rain. If you look at the 2 metre temperatures, it's a similar picture, really struggling to get to the double digits over the next few days. It will be up and down depending on the cloud and rain amounts, but it's as we head into the final days of April, in around a week to 10 days time, the temperature's back towards the mid-teens, maybe even upper teens. And for the first time in a few days, we're starting to see a few ensemble members get towards that 20-degree mark, which is expected within the ensembles this time of year. We are getting to the point where, June, July, average temperatures in London are around the 22, 23-degree mark for the high. So ensemble members showing the top temperature of 20 degrees is pretty standard for late spring into early summer, but at the moment we're about 5 weeks out of being into summer and it's not really showing much of an appearance. Just now it is for the early part of May, and it's just because of this cold and persistently cold pattern we've had in the last week, and that is going to persist for the next week. Now, do finally compare to the ECMWF just to see a bit of consistency across runs. The midday run hasn't fully come out, so we'll look at the midnight run, and again, well below average over the next week, and then back towards average or above average as we head into early May. And some very warm runs starting to appear. We can't get too carried away as we've still got plenty of cooler runs in there. We'll just have to wait and see. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.